Apple, so comes the decline of a big empire that you built. Well, not really a decline, but it won't be gone forever. But we'll talk about more in the video. But right now, I just want everybody, before the video starts, I just want you to think of something. What's going to happen if Apple keeps going the way they keep going? Hey everybody, Michael here. Welcome back to another video. I am using my MacBook and my external monitor at the same time. I am finally taking advantage of the MacBook, its power, and everything that it can do. Welcome back to another video. Sorry if I'm looking over here. That's the monitor, and right here is the camera. Welcome back. And today's video, we're going to talk about what's going the hell on with Apple. Why are they on such a big decline? Stock market price is going down more and more. It's going back down to 177. The prices are unbelievable, and Apple is taking a greedy turn, and it looks like everything from years of all this greed that we had known is finally building up, and it looks like it's gonna come crashing down on Apple. Well, let's take a look. So Apple's stocks are literally going down at a big decline at 20%. So the shares were $232 per share. Now the stock has reached an all-time low. Well, not an all-time low, but the lowest that I think I've ever seen a decline. It is currently sitting at $177 a share. A share, people. A share. So if you think about it, and also my MacBook tends to heat up a lot, so sorry about the fan running, but it looks like Apple's shares are going down, and I think it's the perfect time to invest. But before we even talk about investment, why is Apple going down the tubes? Why is their stock going down? Why are nobody interested in Apple products anymore? Well, if we look at the market share and what Apple's producing in terms of productivity, their products are generally overpriced. Now, if you look at the iPhone XS and XS Max, the starting price configuration is $1,000, and for the XS Max, it is $1,100. Let's look at the website breakdown, and I want to give you guys an understanding of what I'm talking about. So, Apple's lineup consists of a minimum that you could spend. The minimum dollar, if you want to buy one of their premium devices, is at least $1,000. There's nothing in the store you could go in and pay that's under $1,000, with the exception of an iPad, and also maybe an iPod, and an Apple Watch. Even though the Apple Watch is fair worth its price, the main problem are its lineup of mainstream products. So look at the iPhone. When the iPhones came out, like in the past, year after year, each time they came out, there was always a better feature and offering that each year would bring. So when the iPhone 4 came out, it had a brand new design. The 4S introduced Siri. iPhone 5, new design. 5S introduced Touch ID. The 6, bigger screen. 6S implemented more speed, more power, and also fixed some issues with the whole bending thing. The iPhone 7 was the start, where everything was the same, just a better antenna movement. The iPhone 8 was the same design, but with a glass back. The iPhone 10 was the only new design, and now we are repeating the same crap over with the iPhone XS. Literally no revolutionary change, just bigger screen, and that's it. Now, the problem here, and I think the market is speaking for itself, nobody wants to pay $1,000 for a phone. Look at the sales for the iPhone XS. It is not even exceeding performance. And if you look at the iPhone XR, which was their last alternative if you wanted to save money, even that isn't doing as well as it could have been. If you look at the sales for the XR, they are below 100 million, and that is really bad. Ming-Chi Kuo, the Apple leaker who everybody loves, has gone back on his claim of Apple selling 100 million units, have now doubled down to 70 million, and he claims it'll only go down because Apple has cut the cost of production. They have cut production by half for all the lineups. And this doesn't just go for the XR, this goes for the XS, the XS Max, and even a couple of previous iPhones like the 8 and 8 Plus. However, the 8 and 8 Plus are the only big selling models as of right now. So if you look at the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, $599, $699, more people are leaning towards that, because even though it is technically an older generation, it still, however, implements the same design that everybody likes, a 5.5-inch screen, you get Touch ID, you get wireless charging, quick charging, and if I'm being completely honest, I love the red color, so I'm just going out there and saying that. But that's one. Number two, if you look at the competition of what Apple's going through, like, for example, you pull up the OnePlus 6T, the phone that I am still considering switching to. If you look at this OnePlus 6T and look at the breakdown of what you're getting for that money you're spending, you get an in-display fingerprint scanner, a 6.4-inch AMOLED display. AMOLED is probably one of the best displays you could probably get on the market. You also get a reduced notch, so you don't lose all that screen. And finally, you only pay $529. So if you think about it, well, $549 with tax, but if you think about it, the OnePlus 6T offers more value for your money versus what you're getting with an iPhone. And the only thing you're really paying for with an iPhone is really, it really just comes down to really iOS. You're not really paying for the device. You're paying to use iOS. And Android itself, while a lot of people argue and make the argument that, oh, Android, it's crap, it's terrible. If you use any other device, they're trying to slowly make it back to the way it was. Now, my problem with it is Android, it's a mess, and they definitely should reconfigure that. Like, a lot of companies are creating their own skins of what they are trying to implement for their own software. For example, Oxygen OS is OnePlus's operating system masked over Android, so you don't get all that clusterfuck. Samsung comes out with something called One Display or whatever it's called. That's a skin over Android, so you get the Samsung stuff at the same time. You're not mixed up with all of the Android stuff. Now, if you look at the breakdown of the prices for these products, you can see that the prices you're paying are almost a quarter to almost 50% less than an iPhone. An iPhone starting price is $1,000. Now, even though you're not paying $1,000, you're paying monthly payments. If you still think about it, in a sense, you're still paying $1,000 versus the OnePlus 6T or the Samsung Galaxy S9, even the Google Pixel. Each of these phones are started priced at $500 to $700. Now, the Google Pixel 3 XL, that is in the range of $1,000, but I don't know where that notch came from. It looks like somebody just fucking lands a plane on it and it got squashed. But that's beside the point. The point is the market is able to implement newer technology, things that are innovative. That's the next point why Apple may be failing, but they're able to make these phones for cheaper prices and sell them at a reasonable price. You get 2 cameras, in-display fingerprint sensor, you get the latest specs, you get enough storage that will last you, and on top of that, the optimization, even though Apple has hands-on the best optimization for a phone with Android not being able to supply more than a year or two, at least they're able to keep the phone working fast and blazing. With Apple, they slow it down. Number 3, which is what I said earlier, is innovation. Look at the manufacturers. Now, okay, before y'all start rat-a-tat-tatting in the comment section, please bear with me on this one. Yes, last year was all about the copycats. We get it. There were notches after notches after notches after notches. But look at the OnePlus 6T. Look at the Samsung Galaxy S9, S9 Plus, Note 9. Look at the, what else phones? I think that's about it. But if you look at what the competition is starting to do now, they're not trying to copy anymore. Look at Oppo, Vivo, other companies that are going into their own route to make a phone that is not based on a cheating of a design. Even though they have a notch, they're not trying to obviously copy an iPhone like these new companies are. And that's the one thing you gotta remember. These phones have more cameras, more storage, better quality, fast charging. All the point I'm trying to say is they are innovative in their own way. Even if they copy Apple, they are still able to make it better. Now, I'm not saying Apple isn't capable of doing this, but if you look at their history and look at the product that they're releasing, it looks almost half-assed. Look at the iPhone 10, for example. If the iPhone 10 was supposed to be their revolutionary device, why did they put such a big-ass notch? And they're embracing the notch. They're literally saying, we're okay with it. Well, consumers aren't okay with it. Now, to be fair, the notch does offer that awesome true-depth camera system, which makes it so much simpler to unlock your phone. But a notch or no notch, it should not be there, period. I don't understand why Apple went this route, but it is what it is. And finally, the main reason why I think Apple is failing is the average consumers are starting to become smarter. If you look at people when they buy a phone, nobody in their right mind wants to pay $1,000. That's like saying you're going out to the store and going, "Hey mom, I just bought $1,000 phone." Your mom's gonna sit there and go, "You're a fucking dumbass. Take that shit back." Who in their right mind wants to pay $1,000 for a phone? I know sure as hell I don't want to pay $1,000. Now obviously the iPhone 10 I had to get that. But the point is, the average consumer is starting to become smarter. They're not somebody that you can fool. They're not someone that is easily tricked into buying a phone just because of marketing. People are smarter, Apple. People know what they want, and they're not going to drop their hard-earned money on a product that you claim is revolutionary and something that you claim is must-have. Even if you claim you think they really need it, nobody is smart enough or dumb enough to go and drop $1,100, $1,500 or more on an iPhone. This doesn't just go for iPhone. This goes for Macs. Hell, as much as I love Macs, they are definitely overpriced. And this is the thing. Apple chose this route. They chose to go greedy. They chose this path. They want to upcharge customers for everything. And unfortunately, people, they sucker in. But if you look at what people are doing now, nobody's getting suckered in. They are finally stepping up and saying, you know what? What if we really don't need it? And that's what it comes down to, if you really, really need it. And I think that that's where the competition is starting to come in. They're like, look, we know you don't want to spend that much money, but you know you definitely need a new computer, so we give you something else with better specs. Okay, it runs Windows 10, but you could still get your job done. The point I'm trying to make is people are smarter. People know what they want in a device. They know how much they want to spend. And most of all, they know exactly what their limit is. So Apple, my advice to you is this. If you're going to sell products, be like Steve Jobs and actually care about the market. Steve Jobs, while everyone says he was crazy in his beliefs and stuff, he was an innovative man at the best. He was a great man. He cared about the consumer. He didn't care about money. He didn't care about, selling half-assed products. He would make everything perfect, down to the very nanometer chip on the motherboard. He would perfect it. And that's the problem, is Apple is not perfecting their products and they want to sell it and people need it. So if I was you, Apple, go back to the old route of what Steve would do. I know everyone says, you can't keep bringing up Steve Jobs, but look, ultimately, Apple was great with Steve Jobs. Look at the revolution we're in now. We're in a greedy era. And if it isn't as obvious as it is, then I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. But look, all I'm going to say is listen to your consumers, because they are the keys, they are the tools to your success. Listen to them. Actually take their feedback into consideration and not put them in a bowl and just burn it. And finally, lower your prices. If you can do these 3 simple things, your market will go back up, people's demands will go back up, and also your stocks will go back up. Stop releasing products that will be a compromise for everything else. Stop making compromises, putting a battery life over design. Stop putting fucking thinness over performance. Stop putting all this crap into other things. Stop making compromises, taking ports away for slimness. I don't think people wanted that much ports gone. I'm just saying. So that's all I gotta say about that. This is the only way I can see Apple bouncing back. I know they have their Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals coming up. We'll see if maybe they're able to snag some customers. But I'll let you guys know. But Apple is going down the tubes. They deserve it. What's coming? They chose the greedy route, and now they're going to suffer. That's all I have to say about that. And you know something? It's their funeral. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, what do you think of Apple? What is this route that they're going down? I personally call it the greedy route. Let me know, what do you think? And as always, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. And also head on over to the wrestling channel where we are finally up and running. Thanks for watching, and skadoosh.